Lately, we've been covering.
Is the
Salaam Alaikum. Mr. Moderator, our distinguished guests, brothers and sisters, our friends and our enemies.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are Bismillah wa salatu wa salam Rasulullah wa ba'd. In the name of Allah, and the peace and blessings of Allah be upon his last and final messenger. Family, friends, foes, haters, and hateettes, welcome back to the Feachaz. I greet you all in peace and love with no hatred in my heart. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So before we begin, please like, please subscribe, and please share. As you know, we got a hell of a lot of haters up in here. And family, oh my goodness, man. Remember when we were talking, just I think it was like a week or two ago, right? And we mentioned that when Andrew Tate was out of his house arrest, and he made this video that went viral, largely because of Muslims spreading it on all of their social media platforms. And I saw that video. I'm like, within just like, it's not a very long video. I'm like, this dude is a straight up lying. He's a straight up lying, right? There's so much wrong with that. And I don't understand how Muslims are sharing this. Like, this is crazy. It is absolutely nuts. So just to remind you of the video in question, I just want to show you. Right?
So if you didn't already know,
let me just get it up for you one time, right? So I can show you this video. This is just absolutely nuts, right? But when I saw this video, I'm like, what the heck is wrong with y'all? Right? So we're going to share it right now. 1 second, y'all. Let me just show y'all. Let me fix this volume here. It's a little bit high. I'm going to turn it down a bit. All right. Let's watch this, y'all.
Tate has just went ahead and been released off house arrest.
This is from a Muslim channel, mind you.
Speaking out about his whole arrest. If you do want to join the real world, we have a link down below in the description.
I spent 3 months in a jail cell, in a dungeon, with cockroaches sharing my blanket. 3 months. Then I finally got released. 7 months. I've been locked in my house, and today a judge decided to let me go. I want everybody at home to understand exactly why that is. Up until now, all of the imprisonment and the deprivation of my liberty had nothing to do with evidence. It wasn't about evidence in a case file. It was the Romanian judicial system trying to decide if 1, I am a public danger, or 2, I am a flight risk. And to be fair to them, I am non-emotional, I am a professional, even when I am suffering. And I understand as an international man of huge financial resource, it's easy to deem me a flight risk.
Oh, give me a break. This dude was out here bragging about if he ever got, was on the run or whatever. He has passports for this country, passport for that country. I mean, he actually said this stuff. So the Romanian courts, they saw that and they put him under house arrest, and that's why he was in the prison for 3 months to begin with, so that they can finish their investigation. Now he out here. Anyway, let's listen to what he got to say, man. This is so crazy.
So my liberty was deprived. Only recently I was charged. This indictment appeared. I want everybody at home to also understand that 3 different federal agencies from 3 different countries have investigated my life for the last 15 months. Every photo I've ever taken, every video I've ever made, every conversation I've ever had, every phone call, 2,000 people who know me were contacted. Every single ex-girlfriend, my vet, my pool guy, my old house cleaner in an apartment I used to have 11 years ago. You name them. If they had anything to do with me, no matter how tedious the link, they were contacted and they were interviewed.
Let's get Eddie from the Dean Show if he was contacted and interviewed. Eddie, Muhammad Ijab, were you contacted and interviewed too about Andrew Tate? Give me a break, man. Anyways, this guy is like such a... Anyways, let's keep watching.
Lines were set up. Billboards were made. Has Andrew Tate ever hurt you? Do you have any information on Andrew Tate? The media was offering £50,000 for anybody who would give a negative story to me. Find another man who has hundreds of ex-girlfriends and not a single one of them rolled on me. Not a single one of them for money would say...
Oh, dear Lord, man. Dear Lord, this guy is just...
Stop the cap. A bad person. In fact, they would all say the opposite and defend me and stick up for me. You want to talk about a man of moral fiber? Find another man who can go through that. There's not another man on the street you can find whose ex-girlfriends who wouldn't turn on. The media.
We're gonna let this play out,
Andrew Tate's the worst man that's ever been. Andrew Tate's a human trafficker. Andrew Tate's a crime boss. He's a crime lord. Andrew Tate has all this money from illicit activities. Every penny I've ever made, all of my bank accounts seized. 15 million euros of assets were taken from me. They've been through every single bank transfer that I've ever sent. All of it, head to toe, to put this indictment together. So when this indictment is finally created, it should be an opera, right? It should be Shakespeare. It should show money transfers, victims, old victims from long ago, videos, pictures, medical records. This indictment should be absolutely bulletproof. The indictment was put together. I was held for 6 months without charge. That's the longest possible time I can be held without charge. The day before, they finally submitted this indictment. They took as much time as they could. They took it down to the wire, every minute they could to get this indictment together. And now, the indictment's been put in front of a judge. And what has the judge done? The judge has picked up this indictment, looked at it, and said, this is garbage, let him go.
Now, when he said that, the second he said that, everybody who with any common sense should know this is a straight up lie. It is a straight up lie. He was under house arrest because he was deemed a flight risk. All they did was remove the house arrest, and that's it. And they restricted his movements, right? So when I saw that, the first thing I said is, this guy's lying. It's clear that he's lying. We're not talking about innocence or guilt, but he is lying on camera. It's very obvious. And that's what I said from day one, because of this statement right here that he said. Y'all hearing me? And we said it in a couple of videos anyways. When he said that statement, anybody with 2 brain cells to rub together should know that this is a straight up lie. But let's keep playing it out.
Bulletproof indictment. After all I just described, they finally put together a document that the judges instantly said, let him go, this man should not be held.
That's not what they said. This is so crazy. Anyways, that is not what they said, but we called that. And anyways, let's play it out.
Anybody who believed this garbage, anybody who was insulting me while I sat inside of a jail cell, saying that maybe I am a human trafficker because of some stupid video from 10 years ago, any of these people who once insulted me or refused to defend me because they were scared, and that is the same thing. Something I haven't realized, a whole bunch of people who are my friends now and on my team now and are now begging me to bring views to their shit podcast didn't have very much to say while I was sitting in a fucking jail cell. Not very much at all. Don't think I don't know. Me and my team know exactly who was on my team and who wasn't. And I also know what I have done and what I have not done. And God knows the same. It doesn't matter if I get fucked at the end of this. It doesn't matter if I get completely destroyed.
Now he's playing to the Muslims. Watch, y'all. This is so crazy, man.
It doesn't matter if they put me in jail for life. I know what I have done and I know what I have not done. And I find absolute solace in that. Now I am free. Yes, I will remain free until the trial date when this garbage is finally thrown out and my name is absolutely and utterly clear. Anybody who believes any of this garbage is going to regret it, because I tell you something, Tristan said something to me in that jail cell was completely true. He said, 13 years in the Chateau d'If, and then the world is ours. If you have not read The Count of Monte Cristo, I strongly recommend that you do. In my final act of defiance against the Matrix,
Oh, dear
I've
Lord.
decided for my first day of freedom, I will visit the mosque and I will pray to God because Allah is the best of planners. And then I will...
You see what he's doing here? And y'all immigrants and, you know, people who are siding with ideology, just go for it. Y'all just go for it, man. This is, anyways, we called it at that time. When he started talking like this, go scour YouTube and find the people who are talking about, I'm going to the mosque to pray to Allah. Been Muslim now how many months? Listen to this.
Defiance against the Matrix. I've decided for my first day of freedom, I will visit the mosque and I will pray to God because Allah is the best of planners.
Allah is the best of planners. Y'all can't see like a hustle when, anyways.
And then I will return to my house and stay home. That's right. You locked me up for 10 months. Where are you going to go? What are you going to do? I'm a bit tired. I'm going to stay in my house. That's what I'm going to do. I only want to talk to God, and I want to be by myself. I don't want to talk to any of these snakes.
Since he been out, has he been talking to God, or has he been talking to every single social media platform and media outlet that will listen to him? Since he been out.
These people on the internet trying to get views out of me, and these people who pretend they support me and give a shit. When I really, when it gets down to the wire, it's me in a jail cell, me and my brother by ourselves, and all these other people don't seem to fucking give a fuck until there's views involved. Lies get tired. Lies get exhausted. It takes untold energy to continue to prop up a lie. It goes against the laws of physics. There's only so many times you can tell the world I'm a human trafficker with no evidence. Where's the girls? Where's the videos? Where's the victims? Where's the pictures? There's nothing. How many times can you continue to repeat the same garbage with no evidence? Nobody believes it. The moral arc of the universe bends towards truth. And I tell you something, when I am released from all of this, I'm going to use my massive platform and enormous financial capability to launch a charity to prevent this happening from any man ever again.
The minute he said that, y'all should know that he is actually looking for his next lick. He is setting up a charity just like Donald Trump, okay? Donald Trump is setting up a charity. He's looking for his next lick. He's clearly running out of money. So he knows who's going to send him the licks. He understands it's the Muslims. He's going to mosque because Allah is the best of planners. And
ladies and gentlemen, do you believe that the Lord tonight has set you free?
Yes, sir.
Turn around and tell those people. Tell them. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered.
that's it. He's coming like that, man. He's delivered. He's delivered. He's going to the mosque to be delivered now. This is so crazy. But anyways, what made me decide to do this video today? Well, family, remember I was saying all that stuff about, he's absolutely lying? Forget innocence or guilt now. Another video, Andrew Tate and is like Daniel Hakikuju, man. They are just the gifts that keep on giving.
Andrew Tate isn't full.
If you are just a liar, you know what I mean? If you are a liar, you have to keep lying to cover up your other lies. You get me? This is so crazy, man. This is so crazy. But anyways, let us watch this video over here. 1 second, y'all. This is so crazy. In Islam, we follow the truth. We don't follow ideology. And because literally hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of Muslims, bang so hard not because of truth, but because of ideology, they are in this conundrum right now. Okay, Andrew Tate, he just can't stop lying. He just can't stop. He can't stop doing it, man. Anyways, let's watch this, yo. Let me just speed this up as well. Can we speed this up? 1 second. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna speed it up a bit. There we go. Okay, let's play it out.
Damage control, because no matter what side of the political spectrum
too
you're on,
fast.
it's becoming more and more clear that
Too fast. I'll slow it right down. 1 second, yo.
this guy is guilty. Andrew's defense, calling all critics members of the Matrix.
If you believe that left wing are all Matrix agents and right wing are all freedom tellers and freedom believers, then you have a very naive view of the world. If it was so clear cut, the Matrix wouldn't be able to operate. So after getting the largest interview in the history of
Andrew Tate is the goddamn Matrix, man. Andrew Tate is the maker. So if you look in the title, it says Andrew Tate is Cypher. If you've ever seen that movie, The Matrix, which is my actually personal all-time favorite movie ever, right? I can't count the amount of times I watched that movie. But if you ever seen that movie, he is Cypher. He even looks like Cypher. Y'all think I'm tripping? Don't he look like Cypher, family? Put yes or no in the chat, please. Yes or no in the chat if you think that Andrew Tate looks like Cypher from The Matrix. Yes or no, okay? You want to see who Cypher is? Y'all don't know? Because you never seen the movie? I'll show you who Cypher is, y'all. Look at here.
Do we have a deal?
I know this steak doesn't exist. I know that when I put it in my mouth, the Matrix is telling my brain that it is juicy and delicious. After 9 years, you know what I realize? Ignorance is bliss.
That's Andrew Tate, y'all. He's Cypher. Watch the movie so you can know who I'm talking about. Andrew Tate is Cypher, okay? He's the one that betrayed everybody. He's the one who tried to rejoin the Matrix, tried to get in and get the bag from the Matrix. And he's running around telling everybody that he's not part of the Matrix, exactly like Cypher. Pretending to be that he's not part of the Matrix, pretending to fight the Matrix, but meanwhile, working with the Matrix to dismantle everybody else who's actually fighting the Matrix. That is Andrew Tate, man. Give me a break. He's Cypher, y'all. His bald head. Bald-headed and everything, man. Give me a break, man. Let's keep watching this, man.
Andrew Tate isn't fooled. You help.
1 second. Let me just get this going here.
Andrew Tate has recently been released off of house arrest, and Tim and his brother have been quick to jump on the idea that this proves their innocence. He wrote an essay about it. Anyone who has actually read the entire file on my case knows the truth. I am innocent. The judge of my case took 7 days to decide whether I should be freed or not. 7 days to read. 7 days to read thousands of pages. 7 days to realize there is no evidence of any crime. The conclusion is that I am completely innocent of any crime. Justice is justice. The law is the law. Evidence is evidence. I am free. This is a lie. Tate being released off of house arrest has no bearing on whether he's innocent or guilty. He's just not determined the same level of flight risk he once was.
Isn't that what we said from jump? From the first day. That's exactly what it's now. You got YouTubers making videos about this, bro. We called it, man. Again.
It's completely independent of the indictment. Although I kind of understand where the prosecution was coming from.
If I fuck up big time and England wants me in jail, I can fly on a Nigerian passport, or an American, or an English, or a Polish, or an Estonian. I have so many fucking passports. What, are you gonna block them all? I've got 4 more I haven't even named on YouTube. They can't stop me traveling. There's always a passport I can pull out. There's always a driver's license I can pull out. If you ban one, I've got another one. I've got bank accounts in 19 countries.
Does that sound like a flight risk to you? You got to be kidding me, man. Does this not sound like a flight? Where are these Muslims calling this stuff out? All these Muslim channels, there are so many. All I'm doing is trying to keep up with the case. And like almost half anyways, a good portion of the supporters of Andrew Tate on YouTube are Muslim channels. At least those are the ones who are ending up in my feed anyways. It could be because I'm Muslim or whatnot. It could be Allahu Alam, I don't know. But it's a ridiculous amount of twitching and twirling and twerking going on for Andrew Tate in the Muslim community without actually checking the facts of the case itself. Because y'all can't break away from ideology. You are so deeply involved in this ideological warfare. You know, these are truly the times of the Dajjal, you know, the times of the Antichrist, where liars like this, like, it's so obvious he's lying, man. It's like, I don't understand anybody who just takes a half an hour of time just to investigate the case and investigate what he's saying. You'll see that he's lying. But how is it that hundreds of thousands, possibly millions of Muslims are twitching and twerking and twirling for this? This is insane. So if he can do this, what about the Dajjal? What about when the Dajjal come?
My shit is diversified. So am I off grid? No, I'm on so many grids. You can't lock the grid on me.
Even if he's under trial, the fact that Romanian authorities gave him free roam in Romania speaks volumes. He's not free to roam the country as he wishes. His house arrest has just been expanded to include Ilfov County. The judge is still having them report to the police station every day, and again is limiting them to the county they live in.
And as well as if you read the case files, he is not allowed to have contact with the other women who are involved in the case. And I'm not sure if he's allowed to have contact with his brother, but he's not allowed to have contact with the woman in the case for sure. So what is this dude talking about, man? But what he's trying to do, he's only trying to win in the court of public opinion, and that is it. Because he's trying to keep the bag going as long as he possibly can. And y'all are just so gullible. Y'all fall for anything. Instead of standing up for the truth, wherever it is, you just fall for some absolute absurd nonsense, man.
Means they still think you're a flight risk. They're just giving you a bit longer of a leash. But look how he frames it.
The indictment's been put in front of a judge. And what has the judge done? The judge has picked up this indictment, looked at it, and said, this is garbage, let him go. They're a bulletproof indictment. After all I just described, they finally put together a document that the judge has instantly said, let him go, this man should not be held.
It's completely devoid of reality and has led to his fans spamming me saying, look, he's free, you were wrong. And he gets released 4 days later, innocent. Even though it couldn't be farther from the truth. And this sort of misinformation has been the Tate's tactic the whole time, even going as far as trying to silence the victims through threats and frivolous lawsuits. I already spoke at length about the American girl who was allegedly trafficked by the Tates and escaped with one other girl. Probably heard Andrew say that she's accused 7 other guys of trafficking her, leading to one guy named Dustin Milner offing himself.
This is the woman that you're talking about that you say you're alleging has also accused 7 other men.
Alleging, it's literally now on Twitter. You can see the complaint we filed against her. 7 men she is accused of kidnapping. She's done it with 7 different boyfriends who didn't buy her what she wanted. One of them killed himself.
Okay, wow. So
she's a professional.
They would then have one of their war room buddies spread.
Now, Candace Owens is a notorious victim shamer. Notorious. She is shaming the victim of this crime, who is actually this young lady. She started getting victimized when she was, I believe, 15 years old, if you read the case files. And we could talk about that later, maybe. I can pull up some other stuff. But the reason why I'm pulling all this stuff for y'all, because it seems like the Muslims are somehow oblivious to this, and I don't understand how. Okay? But she's a notorious victim shamer. And do y'all know who else is a notorious victim shamer? from your YouTubian da'i elites, I want y'all to put his name in the chat, please. Where do you think this behavior just fell out of the sky? Somebody put in the chat, who is the most notorious victim-shaming YouTubian da'i elite that has support from other YouTubian da'i elites that is all in on this right-wing ideology? Just put his name in the chat. Put his name in the chat, please. Like, give me a break, man. Is the world really this dumb? I'm like, seriously. Who from the YouTubian da'i elites is also notorious for blaming victims? Yes, Earthly Nomad. It is Daniel Scamuel Hakikachu. And where does he get a lot of his victim blaming rhetoric from? Directly from Candace Owens. You see where I am going with this? Candace Owens is a professional. She's a professional victim blamer. She made an entire documentary of George Floyd dying of fentanyl overdose. Now here she is playing defense for Andrew Tate, of all people. Do you see where your YouTubian da'i elites are going now? If we can fall for something like this, then it's going to be easy peasy when the job comes. Like, I'm looking at this as it's very clear and obvious that he's lying. I don't understand. Nobody else is seeing it. Like Trump is a liar. And yet still hundreds and thousands and possibly millions of Muslims decided that, Donald Trump is good for the Muslims and stuff like that. Because of ideology. Not because of truth and falsehood, but because of ideology. Let's keep watching, y'all. Let's keep going, y'all.
Supposedly leaked audio of her crying that the guy offed himself.
I just found out that I should be telling you this, but Dustin killed himself on Friday.
The Tates are telling the truth, though, when they say their civil case is available online to view, but they must be hoping nobody takes the time to actually read it because it makes them look terrible. It's a defamation case. It literally says in their court filings that Dustin Milner, the dude the Tates are so sympathetic for, committed suicide at the age of 35 while still in a relationship with Emma Gabby, who had yet to turn 18. Age of consent is 18 in Florida, and Dustin was 35 years old, meaning that the Tates are legally defending a pedophile. The case tries to victim blame Emma for this, saying things like, Dustin quickly became enraptured by Emma Gabby's mystic and seductive charm, which lured him into an extremely volatile relationship. He's 35, bro. He's the adult. What are we talking about? Emma Gabby knew what strings to pull to make him angry and would psychologically manipulate him by disappearing for days just after spending a long weekend with him, which manifested in self-hatred, eventually driving Dustin Milner to commit suicide. She ghosted him. That's it. It's the weakest shit ever. The lawsuit then names 4 other guys. 34-year-old M. Fisher, who continued to date Emma while she was underage. She says, I'm underage, and he stayed with her. When he got in trouble, he chose to admit abuse in court so he wouldn't catch a statutory rape charge. What's really suspicious about Fisher is he filed his own civil case against Emma, separate from the Tates, on July 4th, 2023. While conveniently only 7 days later, the Tates would file their own civil case on July 11th. 2023, citing Fisher's case as a source, which just happened a week earlier.
No coincidence there, right? Now, I let that play out a little bit because there is a storm coming because of this Andrew Tate thing, right? I told y'all that way back, right? Way back, right? That non-Muslims will eventually start looking at this and it will start looking at the Muslims funny, correct? I said that way back. Okay? And you will notice how these non-Muslims, how they like, what is the number one jab that they like to take against the Muslims, like the Muslim haters, that is. We're talking about your Christian apologist. We're talking about your so-called alleged Islamophobes. The number one jab that they always, when they have no other jab to use, what is the number one thing that they like to talk about to try to discredit Islam? Thank you. Kev D, he got it. Kev D, he got it. Aisha's age. Do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where I'm going with this? Non-Muslims who have nothing to do, they don't even have a gripe against Islam. They are now speaking against Islam because of the Muslims' affiliation with people like this and their undying love and support for this stuff. Do you remember when the first thing that Just Pearly Things, when she decided to come out and started to ask questions about Islam, what is the first thing she mentioned? She mentioned that she started talking about the age of Aisha. Remember that? And here come Muhammad Hijab to come to save the day. Remember that? We called that. We called that, did we not? So here you have your YouTubian Da'i elites connecting with and running defense for the most despicable characters and public figures that you can find out in social media. They are running defense for Donald Trump. They are running defense for Sneeko. They are running defense for Andrew Tate. They are running defense for all these really despicable characters. And they are despicable characters. Y'all hearing me? Do you not think that eventually, of course, non-Muslims are going to try to make this connection here? Which is why we said years ago, if you take your religion from a YouTuber, you are a damn idiot. We said that years ago. But an entire generation has been raised to take their religion from YouTubers. And they are damn idiots. Sorry to say it like that. If you were in your 20s, I'm sorry, you were not cut from the same cloth. The way that you learn Islam is a lazy way. It's a very lazy way. And you'll get turned here or here or there based upon your most entertaining YouTubers. Non-Muslims are talking about this. Islam haters and murtads are bringing this up. Christian apologists are talking about this. I'm not mentioning their names because I don't want to expose who they actually are. But alhamdulillah for the black grassroots. Alhamdulillah for the black Muslim grassroots. Because we said from jump, do not affiliate yourself with those folks, those YouTubian elites. Don't do it. That is a burning house. Do not run into the burning house. Those people, those YouTubian elites, those Ruwaybada, those rabid Ruwaybada, they are glossing the path for the Dajjal. That's all they are doing. they have accepted Zaddy's ideology over the religion, and they have protected it by any means necessary. And to hell with the consequences. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Seems legit, guys. This is a coordinated effort to try and silence Emma. They want to run her broke. When you hear Andrew talk about the case, he's primarily frustrated that she has the money to properly defend herself.
Those two women, we deem now to be professionals. One of them has accused 7 men of kidnapping in her life. And she's also lawyered up instantly from a left-wing NGO because she's currently being sued by us for false charges. And she seemed to be very well supported and funded. So I don't know if she was sent as an agent. We're not entirely sure.
Yeah, it's the Matrix. She's Agent Smith. The other 3 people that Tate is claiming Emma victimized is a 57-year-old written as the alias Jail John, who was found guilty for raping Emma as a 15-year-old minor and is currently incarcerated. His real name is Keith Fox, and he was caught on film doing the crime by a private investigator hired by the mother, Joel Friedman, who was 39 and in a relationship with Emma, but says he was never intimate with her. This is while she was living with Jail John, meaning she was likely 15. And finally, maybe the only innocent-ish guy here, 35-year-old Tyler Hensel, who thought Emma was 26 while dating her when she was really 17. And then after finding out her age, he broke up with her. So of these 7 people Andrew Tate is suing this girl on behalf of, one is a pedo-rapist that was found guilty in criminal court. 3 others were well into their 30s and continued to knowingly date a minor. The other was Tyler, who was at least smart enough to get out of there. And the last 2 are Andrew and Tristan Tate. This is their official case against her. All this information is coming from their side. They knowingly grouped themselves up with a bunch of pedophiles.
Obviously, I'm the smartest man alive.
You're a moron. As for Tate claiming she says she was trafficked by 7
Sorry,
different
that
guys.
one gets a
You're
rewind.
alleging
Man.
has also accused.
That one gets a rewind. That one gets a rewind. This is a fact.
Grouped themselves up with a bunch of pedophiles.
Obviously, I'm the smartest man alive.
You're a moron. As for Tate claiming she says she was trafficked by 7 different guys.
You're alleging has also accused 7 other men.
Alleging, it's literally now on Twitter. You can see the complaint we filed against her. 7 men she is accused of kidnapping.
That's not true. It's nowhere in the case. The only people she says trafficked her are the Tates. As for the other 5 guys, she only ever legally accused 2, both of which are pedophiles. One is in jail, the other one pled guilty to abuse. And neither of them...
Man, I don't know what to tell y'all, man. But I let that play out a little bit because, again, it's only a matter of time, and I don't think it's going to be very long before you're going to see a whole crap storm regarding this and the Muslims. And it's already started, by the way. It's not something that... It's the process already started, right? I'm only finding this because I'm trying to find out about Andrew Tate's case. Okay? To keep you guys updated. And there's too much now. Too much, right? But there are a lot of channels who are just blasting Muslims, and they don't have no gripe against Islam until the Muslims showed what they were really about. Y'all hearing me? So for us here at the Black Muslim Grassroots, we make bara, okay? You know what bara? We make a very clear bara away from all these YouTubian da'i elites. They are the Ruwaybada that the Prophet he spoke about. I have no doubt in my mind. Y'all don't have to believe that if you don't want to. But for me, if they are not the Ruwaybada, then I don't know who is. If it's not them, I don't know who it is. They fit every single description that the Prophet mentioned about the Ruwaybada. It's those folks. Okay? It is those folks. And also the Prophet he mentioned about the fitna. That it will be so great that the believer will wake up in the morning as a believer and return to his house as a disbeliever. And someone will go to sleep at night as a believer and wake up as a disbeliever. This is coming. This is coming because people have lost the grounding of the religion and they have preferred the Amir al-Mu'mineen personalities like Andrew Tate, calling him all kinds of madness. The next Khalid bin Walid. Millions of people will come to Islam because of him. And all kind of craziness. This is like really, 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 really bad. It's really bad. And of course, Andrew Tate trying to win in the court of public opinion. And here come the Muslims to defend. Just like the Muslims, 30 solid years of being liberal, all of a sudden they want to protest on behalf of Zaddy against LGBTQs. Y'all are tripping, man. Y'all are straight tripping. Let's keep watching, y'all.
Were for trafficking or kidnapping. Both were for raping a minor. So again, Tate's just lying. On second thought, it kind of makes sense they would defend these guys. Tristan has bragged about doing the exact same thing.
One of my main chicks has 200,000 Instagram followers, and I took her virginity when she was 17.
The defamation part of the case tries to make the argument that she's lying about being trafficked, because in the messages released by Dicot detailing her escape from the Tates, she joked about getting a Netflix and Hulu special with the other victim. Which means in the Tates' official court case, they're taking the Dicot messages out of context to try and get her. It'll never work. I've already gone over the full messages in their full context. The full messages do nothing but make the Tates look bad, showing how the girls were only allowed to leave the house if they convinced the Tates they were madly in love with them. And it becomes downright diabolical when you realize that the Tates are trying to hide this information from the judge and jury by filing a notice of confidentiality when it comes to the WhatsApp messages, as well as, and I quote, her false statements to the Romanian government. So they want the court to only view the out-of-context messages they provide, as well as ignore her testimony in Romania. Luckily, the court has determined that this does not meet the criteria for confidentiality. Duh, because how can you say her testimony to the Romanian government is false when that trial hasn't even started yet? And for what reason would you not look at the full context when it comes to the WhatsApp messages? How does that make sense? The reason is because it's civil court. They don't want it to go the distance. They want her to go broke and have to settle. It's always been about silencing her. On January 28th, the same month the messages were released by Dicot, Tate called his team from jail and told them to make it clear to her and her whole family that she will be bankrupt for life for lying if she doesn't withdraw the testimony. We know this is real because he made the phone call from jail. The transcripts are part of the court documents in Romania. But
did y'all hear that? Mind you, this is not the first time that Andrew Tate's done something like that, right? He has rolled on several people and doxed several people, including a journalist. He's done this because of his war room. He has had Twitter accounts deleted. And all of this is, mind you, like this is like I don't know what to tell y'all, man. Like if you are a self-respecting Muslim, you have to speak the truth. And we are looking very, 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 very bad. And it's only getting worse by the minute. By the minute, it's getting worse because of these weird alliances these YouTubian that elites have with these folks. White supremacists, all outright white supremacists. Then some just very weird, filthy characters. And of course, a pimp. Of course, a pimp, right? A self-admitted pimp, mind you. And I'm not saying, I didn't say anything about Andrew Tate being a human trafficker. He himself calls himself a pimp. Y'all hearing me? Anyway, let's keep watching this, y'all.
This isn't the first time that Andrew has tried to silence the victims. In other transcripts from January 28th, Andrew Tate from jail called his assistant and had her make one of the girls write a letter taking back her testimony. Now, this is translated from English to Romanian and then back to English, so bear with me. It's my last call. I hope it doesn't go wrong. Call Luke as soon as possible, please. If this appeal doesn't work, you must tell Luke to obtain unconditional surrender from E and G. Yours says yes. Andrew then goes on to say, it can't just be I withdraw. It has to be I lied. I'm sorry. The boys have no business in prison. Yours replies yes, and then the call gets transferred to Luke. Luke, this is my last call. Luke said,
now I want to pause here, okay? Because we're going to read this. Because This is important here. Okay, I'm going to read this here. Sir, we contacted her. We gave her all the documents she needed. We're waiting for her to come back to us. Unintelligible is normal. Right? This is actual transcripts from the phone call, okay? Right? Andrew Tate, also, we send another letter today to Kay? Can the Sheikh send a letter to you? Wrote before the court today. I will check with the Sheikh. You cannot make this stuff up. Did y'all see that? Let me. Can the Sheikh send that letter to you wrote before the court today? I will check again with the Sheikh. Do you see why he's aligning himself with Muslims? Do you see the game that he was running from last year? Talking about the Matrix, the Matrix, the Matrix. He is the goddamn Matrix, man. Stop playing. He is the goddamn Matrix. Now he's talking about chariot, all kind of madness. And because y'all want to be close to this stuff, like this is insane, man. Let's keep watching, man. I can't even believe this is real life. I cannot believe this is real life. How can people be so dumb?
As we contacted her, we gave her all the documents she needs. We were waiting for her to come back to us. Andrew then replies, all right, that letter must be sent today. The surrender of E must be completely unconditional, must completely discredit A, make it clear they lied together. And believe it or not, this worked, as reportedly one of the young women withdrew her accusation. Andrew...
Unbelievable.
That's stupid.
Unbelievable. Right? So anyways. So you see, and now they're using this as evidence against Andrew Tate. You know? Witness tampering. Y'all are tripping, man.
Tate, according to the prosecution, would then move two of the women to Dubai and then have them go on the news and talk about how great the Tates are.
I've never seen any of them being aggressive or rude. They've always respected people. They started from zero. They lived in a shelter with their mom.
She's clearly reading off something. The prosecution noted this and released more transcripts of Andrew telling his team to get more girls to defend him, saying the clips the two girls made have good views and are hitting hard. Keep going, good job, over and over again, different ones. We need the girls to cry, to be frustrated and angry. We need to hurry up. We slow down and we will end up waiting without making enough of an explosion. So we...
Damn!
I mean, for y'all, there's no such thing as evidence, to be honest. Like, the only thing that you're going to accept as evidence is Andrew Tate's video statement saying that I, Andrew Tate, am a human trafficker and a pimp and a this and a that. Like, what is considered evidence in your mind? It's just like when we call out, whatchamacallit, Scam Yo Hakikuchu for being a white supremacist, okay? For being an alt-righter. We called him out way back before anybody else did, okay? And now it's pretty much known that he's an alt-righter, minimum alt-righter. But we call him straight what he is, a racist, right? Y'all waiting for Daniel's statement, you know, talking about nigga. That's what you're waiting for him to conclude that he's a racist. Because y'all don't consider his very clear hateful statements against black folk and victim shaming, just like Candace Owens, and his alignments and the people he aligns himself with as evidence. When the South used to say, if we don't know a person's beliefs, we know who he hangs out with. Who you align yourself with will tell you everything you know about that person. Like, come on, y'all.
Can get the F away from here. Now, him doing this from jail where his calls are recorded is stupid, but it actually makes a lot of sense. If none of the girls choose to testify against Andrew, that's going to have a huge impact on his sentence. Now, that doesn't mean there won't be consequences for him intimidating the victims. DICOT prosecutors have since opened a new investigation when it comes to the Tates, intimidating women who made complaints against them, as well as going after their bodyguards for lying on their behalf. This
emotional damage.
Y'all can't make this stuff up, man. Y'all cannot make this stuff up. And here you have, like, I don't know how many Muslim YouTubers talk about. They're even up to now, we have up on this channel, we haven't said guilty or innocent yet, right? But we have said absolute liar, and we will stand on that. Y'all, man, y'all are some goofy, like goofy, man.
will lead to new charges. This is crazy. Game of Thrones has less deception in it. Now, I still think he's screwed because the prosecution is well aware of what he's doing. They got it coming out of Andrew Tate's mouth. He's his own worst enemy. And if a bunch of the girls do end up testifying against him, his sentence is going to be very long. I want to turn your attention to Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson, who were woefully underprepared for their interviews. They look like fools. I've already heavily criticized Tucker for interviewing Andrew Tate without even knowing what he was charged with.
Well, the fact that you're not accused of a sex crime or
This is one of the most ridiculous, like that was like when I watched like maybe like a couple of minutes of that and I was like, forget this crap, man. I can't watch the whole thing, man. You know what I mean? This is a pure nonsense, man. Mind you, Tucker Carlson, the same thing that he got fired for from Fox News, he built his own YouTube platform to do exactly the same stuff. He cost Fox News billions because of the lies he was repeating for Donald Trump and the election fraud. You know who else from YouTubian that elites who also said that the election was stolen? One guess, forget it. Too late. Scam El Hakikachu. Okay. Man, this is too crazy, bro. This is like... It's too crazy, man.
Violence.
And a week later, just 3 days ago, Tucker would release an interview with Tristan, still not knowing what they were charged with.
To be clear, none of the charges pertain to sex,
No.
rape,
No.
selling anyone,
No.
slavery, moving people across international borders to pit.
Like, it's all there. Like, if I read the thing too, I think that's on either the first or the second page, if I'm not mistaken, because I have it actually downloaded on my computer here. It's like a few pages long, so it won't take you very long to read the whole thing, right? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So it does, like, how difficult is it to read the indictment? This is so stupid, man.
Pimp them out.
No.
Outside of selling people, it's exactly what they charged them with. What, Tucker leaves Fox and he can't even hire one person to read the indictment for him? It's been available since June.
You do not run a web business now.
No,
webcam
absolutely
business.
not. And also, none of the alleged victims are girls who've ever worked at my streaming company in the past. There's zero connection at all.
The cam business is it's still going because my most loyal girls will never leave me. That's why it's going.
So crazy, man.
So I have these girls on these various webcam websites who will never, ever, ever leave. My main thing when it comes to girls right now and money is my OnlyFans management agency.
And also, none of the alleged victims are girls who've ever worked at my streaming company in the past.
This is who Muslims are pushing day and night. Muslims are doing this. Muslims are pushing this guy. All over the place, Muslims are pushing this guy. Can you imagine, man? I never in my entire life, yeah, I could say my entire life, as Muslim or even non-Muslim, seen anything like this before. Never. The closest was with Donald Trump and how that cult emerged just out of nowhere. Y'all hearing me? But I think y'all get the gist. Right? I think we've shown enough. Okay, and there's so much more. There's so much more, and all we can say about, you know, that dude is like, I don't know what to say, man. It's like, this is crazy, man. This is crazy, man. This is like, anyways, what's worse than Andrew Tate, because honestly, I wouldn't know who Andrew Tate was unless Muslims started sharing his videos with me. Well, I wouldn't know. Just like a Sneeko, I never knew who Sneeko was until Muslims started sharing it with me. I would not know, right? So the point is that, family, we have to distance ourselves from the YouTubian that elites. You know, stick close with actual scholars. Actual scholars. Actual scholars, they will not have millions of followers on YouTube. Impossible. Even their videos won't have millions of views. No way, because they are actual scholars. Right? When you think about things that are precious in the dunya, okay, and the earth, can you just go walking down the street any time of day and start picking up diamonds from the ground? You can't do it, right? You can't, because diamonds require digging and searching, and this is like knowledge, right? The second that you think that you're just gonna waltz on your computer and get Islamic knowledge like that, right? You have like basically bastardized what knowledge really is. You know, these YouTubian diaries, they should be treated like pariahs. They're very, very, very dangerous. And they have an entire generation of Muslims following them and repeating what they're saying. Anyways, I came to y'all in peace and I leave you in peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Catch you next time.